Okay, I want to welcome you guys to the first ever unboxing on my channel. And what better reel to unbox than the brand new, much anticipated Curado 200K. Now, to be honest, I didn't think I was going to get this until September because Tackle Warehouse was showing the arrival dates around September 21. But last Friday, I got an email from them saying that they had shipped it off. And I got the next day shipping, so it arrived this morning. I was very excited. I wanted to rip open the box, but I figured I would share it with you guys. I had to wait till I finished work. So here we go. I didn't know if I wanted to include unboxings on my channel because they seem, I guess, somewhat boring, but since this is a brand new reel that not too many, if anyone at all, has done a video on, I figured I'd share it with you. Alright, so here's the crap, and here's the brand new. They've changed the color of the box to like a dark green or almost black, almost like the JDM boxes. And I got the HG model for a specific reason. Okay, so where did I put those scissors? Okay, there they go. Okay, here's the instructions. We don't care about that. Here's the oil as usual. It comes with Shimano's. And here is the reel itself. Alright, this bubble wrap is being difficult. There. This is really stealth. It is tiny. This thing is small. And this is ridiculously smooth. Just turning this handle right here. I didn't know if I would like the new thumb bar, but it feels really nice. Let me move this box so you guys can see better. The green, dark green spool. Wow. Okay, so I got it out for you guys. I'm going to now bring out the rivals. So stay tuned. Okay, so a little bit of history here. The Shimano Curado 200i came out, I believe, February of 2014 at the Bassmaster Classic. Now, when I first got that reel, I was going to start the channel, you know, a little over 3 years ago. But I procrastinated, work picked up, a lot of different factors, and I was not able to start this channel for you guys. But it seems like I started it at a great time because they introduced a whole new Curado, and hopefully this reel will help my channel grow. So the first thing they said about the new Curado was that it was 10% smaller. Now, to be honest, when I heard that the new Curado was coming out, I was kind of shocked because, you know, the current Curado, or the old Curado, was only 3 years old. So I figured it was going to be like the METANIUM and the CHRONARCH. They were just going to give it an MGL spool and possibly the new brakes, maybe a couple other features. But to my surprise, they redid the whole thing. And you can see there that they claimed that it was 10% smaller, and I believe they did achieve that because this reel is tiny. I mean, the Curado eye was small to begin with, but this reel is, look at how it fits in my hand. This may even be smaller than a 70 Curado 70 body. It's so small. And obviously we're going to go over what has changed. Now, of course, a whole new frame and body. The frame is still metal. The side plates are now CI4 plus. Obviously they changed the color. The handle is kind of different. It's new. The knobs are different, as you can see. They added micro module gearing, and you can really tell it is ridiculously smooth. They've added the new SVS brakes. If I could figure out how to open that up. Now the side plate still is attached on, which is good. But here's the new SVS brakes. Now it comes with 2 activated. Now usually Shimano, when they ship a baitcaster out, they have brakes activated, the amount of brakes that you would need for someone who is relatively experienced with baitcasters. So with the old VBS, 2 brake shoes were usually installed. The first SVS Infinity, I believe 2 brakes were activated. The second SVS Infinity, I believe 2 brakes were activated. Now the new SVS Infinity, like this, generally they come with all 4 shoes activated. Now this only has 2 activated. I wonder if there's a reason why. Now of course, everything in a reel's performance is with the spool, and I was very interested to see if they changed anything about the spool, since they did not give it the MGL spool, if they made it way less or did anything like that. So we're going to pull the scale out and weigh the spools. Okay, I got my trusty cheapo scale out. Now before we weigh the spools, I'm going to go ahead and weigh the entire reel itself. Now, despite being smaller, for some reason they reported a weight gain of about 0.2 of an ounce, or 7.6 ounces on this new Curado. So let's check out what it weighs. Okay, so as you can see, it said 7.7 ounces. So yeah, so it gained about 0.3 of an ounce. The old Curado was 7.4, and this new Curado has went up to 7.7. You really can't feel the difference. This thing is solid as a rock. The handle is much more solid. Now let's pop that spool out. If I'm not mistaken, the Curado eye spool weighed in at 16.4 grams. So this spool here does not look to be any different in dimension. It looks to be the same 25 by 34 millimeter, but let's see if they made anything different to it. Okay, so somehow they did make the spool lighter by 0.4 of an ounce. So the spool is right at 16 grams, or 15.99. So they did make the spool lose some weight, which is good. If you remember the TATULA CT Type R, the spool lost a lot of weight. It lost over 1 gram. And you can tell when you cast that reel versus the old one. Now let's see if the dimensions are any different. Okay. Yeah, it looks like the spool dimensions are exactly the same. I think a lot of the weight was saved by going to this new brake system. There's a lot less material versus the old. Okay, now the one thing about the Curado eye a lot of people didn't realize was that it was an ergonomic masterpiece in my eyes. It's a lot of nice ergonomic touches that people didn't even really notice. Like if you looked at the cast control cap, they have these little indentions right here that make it easier for you to turn the cap because of the indentions. And as far as the SVS Infinity, they made it different than, let's say, on the METANIUM. These reels were really made for hard tournament use because when you're palming the reel and you just want to make a quick adjustment on the dial, the travel or the movement from 1 to 2 is exactly from here to here. So if I made the adjustment, I went from 1 to 2 that easily. So I think the Curado K has big shoes to fill, and I think so far so good. The XVS Infinity adjustment has changed a little bit. Let me pop this spool back in. This matte black color, I didn't know if I would like it or not, but in person it looks pretty good. See, the SPS Infinity adjustment is still on the side. Ooh, it's kind of tough to turn. And this cast control knob, there, it's loosened up. But yeah, I might have to loosen that up. The external dial is really tough to turn. Now you can tell the difference. I believe they may have added an extra bearing to this. I'm going to look at the specs real quick on my tablet. A lot of the newer Shimanos are having an extra bearing added to the main shaft, which gives it, yeah, it says 6+1 bearings. So it gained a bearing over the Curado eye, and I believe that bearing, just like the METANIUM MGL and the CHRONARCH MGL, was put on the main shaft, which helps out the micro module gears. And this thing is rock solid. There's no play, no movement. It's like churning butter. Now another thing is they've kind of changed up the knobs slightly. They're still the ergonomic power grips, but one thing about Shimano's grips versus the other grips, let's say the TATULAs, is that they are ergonomically contoured, meaning they fit the way that you grasp. So this is kind of slanted this way. So my thumb would go here, and on the flip side, my forefinger will go here. So that's why Shimano knobs are so comfortable to use. A lot of people don't realize that these are asymmetrical. And they designed it that way because, you know, the way I reel, my thumb goes right here. And then the forefinger or the pointer finger is just like this. And it's contoured to fit that perfectly. And that's why Shimano knobs are known to be the most comfortable knobs out there. Okay, so now that we've established that the new model seems to feel better, seems to be built better, and is much smaller, let's look at how, find out how it feels when it's mounted on a rod. Okay, so I've mounted this on my Zodius, and It feels quite comfortable. My thumb rests right on the top plate. And this thing is, I can't believe how small it is. It is ridiculously small. Now they've come out with brand new Curado rods. I personally thought they were kind of dull looking, so I doubt I will even look into getting one. As you can see, the cast control is dark green along with the spool with the yellow ring around it. Now this, I don't know if I've mentioned it, it does come with a new extra high gear ratio of 8.5 to 1, just like the METANIUM. Now, the one thing I can say about this new Curado versus the old Curado, if they've slimmed up the back part. The old Curado, it was pretty bulbous back here. It's kind of stuck out. It wasn't uncomfortable, but you could tell when you were fishing all day that this did stick out a little bit. And that part has been tapered off on the new Curado. Yeah, you can definitely tell just by holding it that, now I don't have big hands, maybe small, I'm not small, but medium to large in a baseball glove. But yeah, they've this is literally a whole brand new reel, which was shocking to me. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it out on the water, get it loosened up, and then I'm going to pit it against its rivals. Now right now, the main rival I see is going to be the Curado Eye that it's replacing. I want to see if it casts better, which I think it will because it's got the new brakes and a slightly lighter spool. But you never know until you get it out on the field. And then once I'm done pitting it against its predecessor, I'm going to pit it against its arch rival, the TATULA CT Type R, which came out last year. It's also smaller, but yeah, if you can see the size, the CT Type R dwarfs the Curado K. It absolutely dwarfs it. I think any reel will dwarf this thing because it is so small. I can't believe how small it is. But yeah, it's going to go head to head in several tests against its arch rival, the CT Type R. Not only is it a Shimano versus DAIWA again, they occupy the exact same price point of $179.99. So they are going head to head. I'm actually going to pull out my Curado 70 or one of my 70 reels to see just how small this is. Okay, so I pulled out my Scorpion 70 and my ALDEBARAN 50. Now let's compare the sizes. Wow, it is actually smaller than an ALDEBARAN 50, which is tiny already. This is ridiculously small. Hope you guys can see that because these are pretty dark. Now up against this Scorpion 70, which is basically the Curado 70, it is, I want to say, a little bit smaller. The thumb bar does not stick out like it does. As far as the width goes, they are about the same width, even though this has a 3mm wider spool. So Shimano has really done a good job in sticking a 200 capacity spool into this tiny, I want to say 50 size body. Incredible. Okay, guys, it's gonna be a few days until I'm able to like actually get out and throw the Curado K around, but I hope you enjoyed this unboxing and tabletop review. Hit the like button, subscribe for me, hit the notification bell so you know when my new videos are coming out. I'm gonna have a ton of Curado K videos coming out for you guys in the next few weeks. Thanks a lot.